short tribute video to my 95 Ford Contour. This was my first car ever, and I have been driving it for about 11 years, and it's been awesome. Almost had zero problems, but we finally got a new car, and that means that my car is going away. I just wanted to make a quick tribute video, walk through some of my favorite things and maybe some of the not so favorite things, but things that I've come to love and appreciate. First off, I got these bad boys when G.I. Joes went out of business. They're fake little air, whatever you call those things, air intake things, but they actually just stick on, but they look awesome. These were Dutch Bros stickers, but I thought they looked cool by themselves, so I took off the Dutch Bros stuff. But look at that. That used to be a Fueled by Dutch Bros sticker. Turned it into a, well, it just labels my gas tank. A lot of gas attendants really liked that. Thought it was funny. My antenna's missing, and that's because a Katie car wash that I went through this last summer snapped it right off. They offered to pay for it, but I never got around to it. I did have two 12-inch subs in the back. I have I believe it's a 900 watt amp here, and it's mounted there. Worked awesome always, and there's always fishing lures and stuff laying around. But that's the back. The trunk did leak quite a bit. Water would run into this side, I guess, right into the, it's actually dry now. I think we got it sealed. Took some work, but this would actually fill up with water, which was awesome, because then it'd become mold, and then you'd smell it in the car and stuff, and it was great. So there's another one of those bad boys. Oh, I forgot to mention that the passenger door, you actually cannot unlock it from the inside, which I always thought was the Lord's way of making me open the door for my wife, or my girlfriend back then, when she was my girlfriend. So here's the driver's seat, the console. First off, I should mention, here's the seat. Has just a little rip in it. I think it's from the way that I move in to the seat, slide in, if you will. Here at the console, first thing you'll notice is this. This moves quite a bit, and it's actually done that since I got it. The steering wheel, this cover used to move a lot. I was always worried, I actually still don't know, but I was always worried that the airbag was going to go off. But I always wondered if there was an airbag in there or not. But it was really loose, so I went ahead and bought some screws from Ford and tightened it up. But never needed an airbag, so I guess we're good there. There's the deck that my parents got for me. It was my high school senior gift, was the stereo and the subs and everything. Still have the floor mat, some of them. This side actually used to leak quite a bit. This would turn into a giant puddle of water, and that's why there are still towels shoved under there. I think we solved that leak also. You know, notice this wire here, that runs to this nice little gain knob for the sub amp. I duct taped this together quite a while ago, probably 5 years ago. It came all disconnected, and this would just fall off and stuff. It is a manual transmission. The clutch is original. Never went out. We always expected it to, because I learned how to drive in this thing. You might notice duct tape residue on lots of stuff, because I made all sorts of custom things in here. And this was, I filled this with foam, and I put Velcro on there so that I could stick my iPod straight on there, and then iPhones came out, and I no longer needed that. That's what this guy is for. Most recently, I've had probably 10 different versions of those. Here, if I don't shine you in the eyes, this, you might see the tape here. This was here for years, probably 9 years. And what it is a fishing pole holder. I developed and created a rod holder that would hold 3 rods comfortably. And what's cool about putting them there, and that's where the tip would go, is that the back went there, and you can see it's sheet metal that I covered in gaffer's tape, and I would put the butt of the rod there with the reels, and then they would go right here. But what's cool about having the rods here is it never really gets in your way, and people can still sit in the passenger seat, which nobody has done for quite a few years now. But headrests, I've replaced them a couple times, but they just always break, and this one's not too bad. It looks worse than it is. Dutch Bros stickers on the inside represent, of course. This is kind of gross looking, not gonna lie. That's the cup holder, maybe growing a little bit. And then the little change ashtray, that's been gone for as long as I could remember, but it's got some nice stuff in there too. Not the cleanest, but you know, I did vacuum it out every once in a while. Again, you'll find fishing stuff kind of everywhere. What else is there? Oh, the windows. So, manual windows. This one is in the best shape of all of them, I believe. As you can see, there's no crank there, and what's left of the nub, is stripped. So what I've been doing, I don't even have it in there right now, but I have just a wrench that I usually keep in there to roll the window down when I need to. It's kind of tough because you don't have any leverage or anything, so you got to grip it pretty tight. This side, however, has been repaired, I think 3 times. And we put several cranks on, and once those stripped, we started tapping what was there. Those would snap off. So now what you have is, I use some, I don't even know what you'd call it. It's like metal glue. It's not epoxy. It's actually made of some kind of metal, or becomes metal when you mix it together. But I used that to get the tap to stay this time, and it snapped off right at the end of September. So right when it was not hot anymore. I lost that again. So I've just been accustomed to opening my door when I go through drive-thrus and stuff. That's just what I do naturally. And even with the new car, I found myself just opening the door because I forget that I can roll the window down. That squeak, one of my favorite things. I've WD-40'd these doors countless times. The back seat is plush. You can see a little tear there. I destroyed these speaker covers. The speakers are actually fine. Those are still stock. I should have changed them because I got easy access, but those broke probably back around 2004 when the church used to be at the school. I would haul the drum kit to and from the church office, and the trap case that holds all of the hardware fit perfectly on the back seat. But when I say perfectly, I mean you had to slam the doors shut to get the thing to actually fit. So I just slammed it, and it, you know, broke through the speaker things. But that's okay because it's custom. And you can see here, that one's sheared off. Nothing there to attach anything to. And oh, I lied. This one is in good shape. You could probably put a crank on that, but nobody ever sits in the back. Why? Well, I have one seat belt in the back because, as you can see, these are broken. They broke who knows how long ago, but you cannot buckle in on those guys. This one is here, and I held it together with some duct tape. So for the brave friends of mine who wanted to risk it, they could use the duct taped seatbelt, and nobody ever got hurt. Oh, check this out. So once we put the subs in, we realized that the sound was kind of trapped in the trunk, and we wanted some of that bass sound to flow straight into the car itself. So what my dad and I did is cut some holes. We cut holes straight through the metal into the trunk, and then popped speaker covers on, so it kind of looks like they're speakers, but they're not. There were no speakers up here ever. There was nothing there, but it's kind of cool because then all that bass air just flowed straight in. See, it's a really nice cut job there. I'm pretty sure we used a hacksaw or something, but oh, it's awesome. Yeah, so I think that's it. Looked up how much it's worth, and because of some of the issues that it has, it would be pretty tough to sell and then explain to the new owner all of the little quirks. One of them being this sensor right here. It's the O2 sensor, mass airflow. And the car essentially doesn't run. It runs very poorly. And it's like, to say that it stutters is an understatement. You'll basically get whiplash if you try to drive with this sensor plugged in. The plug is down here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. But the funny thing about it is that you have to pass DEQ here in Oregon every once in a while. And so what I have to do, and it's worked several times now, is I park across the street from the DEQ, plug this bad boy in, and then wait till there's no cars, and then just floor it and hope that I don't break my neck. But I get over there and pray a lot, and then it usually passes. And then I pay, and then as soon as I get out, I unplug it again. Now the problem with that is it gets like terrible gas mileage. I haven't calculated it in years, but it's pretty bad. It runs pretty rich without that sensor plugged in. But with it plugged in, you can't drive it. And who wants to buy a new sensor, right? Well, I think that's it. There's probably more, but oh, I should show you this. This is great. This happened just last year. I was driving in Lake Oswego. There's a road, it's a pretty main road that's on the south side of the lake, and there's a bunch of big old trees overhanging the road. And I was just it was pretty windy, but I was just driving along, and all of a sudden this huge branch drops from the sky out of nowhere, and it perfectly hit right here and just broke out this whole thing. What's awesome is the bulb stayed intact and still worked. So I just came home, bought some clear duct tape, and that has held up for over a year now. You can see it chip the paint a little, but that's about it. It's pretty awesome. This is from my parking skills at the apartment complex. Now if it seems like I'm dragging the video out, it's because it's very sentimental for me. I don't want to see this thing go, but just has to. This is from me slamming our car door into my car for years. I always wear, or at least used to always wear, a knife, and that's how this happened on the side, because as I'd brush against this with the clip of my knife, it would scrape that, and then that's also how this stuff happened. Same thing. So again, it's just custom wear and tear, and I'm gonna miss it, but the time had to come sometime. And just to get the official mileage, never made it to 200. Thought I would, thought I'd get close. Almost want to drive it till I do, but 19,966. Oh well. That's that. Goodbye, 1995 Ford Contour. You will be missed. You will be sorely missed.